Hey everybody, what's up, and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. We are in the dreaded water... Okay, enough of that. Want to really make a dreaded water temple experience. How about watching a Let's Player do the whole thing wearing iron boots? How's that fun? How can Link pull himself up with those things on, too? But anyway, here's the second water level switch. This will raise the water up one level, and then the other one will raise it up by 2. And that block just raised to reveal a hole. I guess a lot of people had a lot of trouble realizing that. I always thought it was kind of obvious because the camera points to the block rising up and you can see the hole, but I guess maybe it wasn't on screen for long enough, so that was one of the things I heard they changed in the 3DS game. But not gonna lie, when I was watching Nintendo Capri Sun do his randomizer, excuse me, I got the hiccups now. I was pretty happy when he said, I don't know why people have such a hard time with this, because they show you the hole as the water's rising. But I don't know. Maybe that's just one of the things where it's only obvious to me because, you know, I played it a lot as a kid. And I had the guide on top of that. But I don't know, when I just see that cutscene and that hole, that block rises up, it's like, I think it's, I don't know, it is a little obvious in hindsight. It's more like one of those things where it's like, if you miss it, you're like, oh, okay, that's what you had to do. It's like an aha thing, but not like a, I've been searching the temple for like an hour and you're telling me it was there the whole time? It's like, I don't know. Just, whatever. Let's start having fun in the water temple. I did like it after all. All I've done is complain in this dungeon here. So we have another key now. I will say though, Majora's Mask really did make Link swimming in 3D pretty awesome. Like, I really feel like that was probably one of the biggest improvements to Ocarina of Time. Just the fact that you can properly swim now. Because the whole reason I feel like the iron boots exist is because they wanted to do, like, a water kind of dungeon, but Link couldn't really swim on different levels. So that was the compromise. The iron boots allowed him to, like, explore as a person, you know, and the iron boots were just the means for letting him, you know, rise and fall. There's a Tektite up here that's gonna fall down. You stand. Yeah. You'll want to take care of him before shooting this, because most likely he's just gonna jump on you and knock you off and you gotta do the whole thing again. And this is where the third the third place is, where you can raise the water. I didn't want to do this just yet though, so this is where I'm going to set Floor's Wind. We got this a while ago. I don't think I've shown this off yet, but it'll create a warp here, so we can just warp up here whenever we want to raise the water to the 3rd level. And I do it here because it is the most difficult to get back to, but I wanted to still explore on the 2nd floor though. So this one, excuse me. Thank you. So this one here, if we shoot the eye switch, the gate will open, but it's going to close almost immediately after. We need the long shot for that. So we can't do anything there. This is what I wanted over here. Because if you remember, as you were floating up after we met Rudo, there was a bombable wall at some point. And that's what we want to get to. Because there is another prize behind that. Although, oh, you know what though? This isn't where that leads. I need to go back underwater and then rise up again, but oh well. We can pick this up too. This is another one that runs out like super fast. And I was on the wrong side and I made it anyway. I wonder what it could be. It's the compass. Alright, so let's get that other... Whoops. Way to land on the spikes, dude. Well, at least it's not like in Mega Man where it automatically kills you. Could you imagine playing a Zelda game where you land on the spikes? And like, it's one of those situations, it doesn't kill you, but it like warps you back to the beginning of the map. So it's down here that we want to go. Put the iron boots on. And sink to the bottom. And I think this is one of the only places in the dungeon you need to do this, something like this, but I could be wrong. Eventually, the water temple... I mean, that main hub area is still useful for, like, grounding yourself and seeing which direction you should explore, but towards the west end of the temple, it does start to get pretty lengthy in its own regard. So, it's not as easy to, you know, determine what floor you're on without looking at the map. Boo-doo-boo-doo-boo-doo-boo. There's another key in here. You don't want to miss this one. This one is also one I see people forget about a lot, which is why I wanted to make sure I got there. So, the second time you use Ferora's Wind, it'll say return the warp point or dispel the warp point. If you dispel it, you can set it up again. This is basically a one-use thing, so once you've used it again, you have to set it up again. That's the only thing that really stinks about it. And it can eat up your magic too, so like, watch out for that. But since we have double magic, shouldn't be that much of an issue. It almost looks like a fairy behind me, but not quite. So this is, I believe, how you began the temple. I think it started off when it was at the top, but in fact, that's where we entered the temple, so we don't want to go down there. And those Tektites, man. Alright, what's over here? You want to leave? Thank you. Yeah, that's one of the things I like about the Bighorn Sword. It does defeat the Tektites in one shot. You know the weird thing, though? It really doesn't look like such a big sword that you would need to... Oh, you know what? This might be the block that I was talking about in the last episode. That you pull it now, but you can't finish it off until much later in the dungeon. So... good thing we took care of that now. The Bighorn Sword doesn't seem like such a big sword that you would need two hands to hold it. At least when you pull it out. On the status screen it does, but... I don't know. You pull it out like this. I guess it is. I guess when he's further away it looks a little smaller, but... whatever. I like this kind of motif of dragons throughout the temple as well. I guess they're supposed to be like sea serpents or something like that. You see them fairly often. And I think we're finally going to start heading towards the mini-boss. Which is weird, because I feel like of all the things people complain about in Water Temple, they never really bring up the one thing that I feel like most people think is really cool, and that's facing Dark Link as a mini-boss. And I gotta remember to come... Oh, I didn't want to fall off of that. Oh my god. Control stick. Let's try that again without being absolutely horrible. Yes, we're gonna kill the Keese again out of spite. I gotta come back for that gold Skulltula there. It's weird, the gold Skulltulas in this dungeon, I feel like you don't really start picking them up until after you get the long shot. After you get the long shot, I just feel like everything's just like so much better. I think I was trying to say in the other episode, the hookshot always feels so short whenever I come back to Ocarina of Time, because the long shot just makes everything so much better. They say it's twice as long as the hook shot. I don't know. It kind of feels like, I'd say like 2.5 times as long, but I could be mistaken. Gotta take care of these guys now, because we don't want to deal with them. Can we aim a bow, please? I wonder how the gyroscope aiming works on the 3DS version. You know, it's weird. A lot of people either seem to love or... I wouldn't say love, even. They either liked or hated the gyroscopes on the Wii U for the gamepad. And it was weird because it never really seemed consistent. It seemed like it was different for every game. Like, I know more people... Well, I've heard more people say they liked the gyroscope aiming for Splatoon than they did, than didn't. But then everybody almost universally hated how the gyroscope controls were in Star Fox Zero, which, to this day, I still honestly can't really understand. I liked Star Fox Zero. I also hadn't played a Star Fox game since Star Fox Adventures when it first came out. Like, I never really grew up playing Star Fox or anything. It was, like, kind of like my first proper Star Fox game, and I had a good time with it. And I was just... I kind of felt bad that so many people hated it, because I knew that, like, Star Fox was a series that was definitely struggling to stay relevant. Felt like the only reason people even cared about it at all, excuse me, was because of Super Smash Bros. And how popular Fox was in that game. Wow, you're just gonna... Let's fall directly into him. But guarantee that's what's gonna happen. Oh no. So when I saw, you know, there was a proper Star Fox game coming out and it was for the Wii U, I felt so bad that everybody hated it so much, because it was like, I'll watch for my reflection in the water here. It disappears and becomes Dark Link. I always thought that was pretty cool. But, let me finish that story in a second. So this is Dark Link. Dark Link is an interesting enemy. I don't know all the specifics about him. I've only learned certain things, like, he has as much health as you do. So, like, if you're fighting him with 14 hearts right now, like I am, he has 14 hearts. The 3-heart run was pretty sweet. Pretty easy. But he'll kind of mirror your moves. Some things, like stabbing him, he'll eventually learn from it. It's an AI that basically starts evolving and learning the longer you fight him. So, I don't really have a particular strategy. I've seen people use the Megaton Hammer. I've seen people use Din's Fire. Megaton Hammer, I've seen people just go back and forth like this, so maybe that's like your best bet. But, and maybe not while Z-targeting too, because I think Z-targeting kind of affects his behavior as well. But I know a lot of people have had trouble with him, and a lot of people really love fighting him for the challenge. And that was super freaking easy. That was like the easiest I've ever had with him. I think we should start doing Megaton Hammer more often. But we get the long shot from this one. But anyway, like I was saying, so Star Fox Zero, like, even I knew, you know, this is probably going to be it for Star Fox then for a while. If not, like, for good. Because, like, they made all those cool commercials and advertisements for the game and everything like that. And I kind of felt like they were really pushing for this to be, like, one last final revival of Star Fox after so many awkward titles that people just were like, why couldn't it just be Star Fox 64 again? Link, be careful. Don't get swallowed by the vortexes. I guarantee I will, because for whatever reason, I always screw up at some point in here. So I knew when it wasn't doing good, this was probably going to be it for Star Fox. And I don't know if it is or not. It would be cool if it, like, I like the gyroscope controls. I would have preferred a normal control set. Even something like giving you the option of using gyroscopes or using, like, the regular, you know, normal controls. And see, what did I tell you? If you kind of spam the roll, you can kind of get out of it. But unfortunately, I don't know. Maybe if it ever gets ported to the Switch, like all these other games that have come to the Switch that used to be on Wii U, something fun will come out of it, but who can say? All I know is if you like Star Fox 64 that much, just play Star Fox 64. I didn't even know Star Fox Zero was basically just Star Fox 64 again. Like, I thought it was like a completely new story. Like, I thought the whole point of Zero, the Zero part of it, was it was going to be a prequel, but I guess I was mistaken or heard some wrong information, or I don't know, maybe even just made up my own desire of what it was going to be in my head, but yeah, I guess it was. And then I don't know, I didn't even know this until Johnny, if some call me Johnny, was reviewing all of the games again for his Star Fox marathon, that Star Fox 64 was in fact pretty much a remake of Star Fox for the Super Nintendo. Yeah, I don't know, like, I know a lot of people make jokes about like Sonic and Metroid and everything not really like having like trouble development and stuff and not really knowing what direction they're heading in sometimes, but I don't know. Star Fox definitely seemed like it had its own share of issues that kind of raised it to the top of the developers really have no idea what to do with this character or franchise. You know, it's a shame, because I wonder if Star Fox Adventures had never happened, and they just made a GameCube version of, like, a more traditional Star Fox game, would Star Fox have had, like, more successful games? Would people have thought, you know, this is still popular and everything like that? But, I don't know. I feel like I'm forgetting something really obvious right now. I'm getting too caught up talking about Star Fox of all things. I'll let it suck me down again. I don't know, though. I did enjoy Star Fox Zero a lot, and I wish more people would give it a chance, because that's another thing that I feel like everybody just kind of jumped on the bandwagon of hating without really playing for themselves. Because if the Wii U sold as poorly as everybody complains it has sold poorly for, there's no way so many people could have also hated Star Fox Zero. Because, like, I don't know. Just in my head, it just wouldn't seem like enough people could have possibly had the system to even play it on. Lord, oh lord, what are we having a problem with here? Just get up the dang ledge, man. Why is it just so hard just to get through this section without going down the vortex? I feel like I am missing something. Is there like a long shot target I can like grab? Am I just supposed to be just float? Why am I forgetting this? Well, I guess that works. Sort of. No, I don't think I'm supposed to be there either. Am I supposed to be with my iron boots and walk over here? Yeah, that's what I'm supposed to do. It's another key. Alright, let's take these boots off. And now we're back in, I believe it was the, yeah, where that dragon statue was. Then we should be going back to the main hub soon. And while, well, take care of him first. While the water level is raised all the way up, I want to get that gold sculpture in that room before I forget. And then I think we have to lower the water back to the first level again. Because that spot we bombed open we can do now that we have a long shot. Oh, that took us down there. But we want to go a little bit up more. Then it's this room, right? Yes, it is. So also out of spite, we'll get the keys again. Get more arrows, not that we need them. Can we get this from here? Oh, baby, I love the long shot, dude. I really do. And the normal hook shot for Majora's Mask is the long shot from Ocarina of Time. And then, what do we want? What did I say I want to do? I want to lower the water again. Haha, you can't get me. Oh, and you know what? Then there's also the gold sculpture in that main tower, too. So we're going to remember to do that. I know there's not really any point to collecting them past 50, honestly. And even then, you know, that might be a bit of a stretch, because, like, it depends on what it's worth. Because, like, the ultimate prize for 50, which is the last prize you're going to get before getting all 100, is the a heart piece. And it's like, depending on how you feel about the game, you may not even want to go that far just for heart pieces. I mean, gold sculptulas, you may as well grab them if you see them, but I don't know, to be perfectly honest, the wallets are the most important prizes to me. Because, I mean, you need at least the adult's wallet. Well, I don't know, maybe you don't need, you know, at least the adult's wallet. But there are items that cost over 99 rupees that you might want to consider buying. But either way, being able to max out how much money you can carry is helpful. So we're not going to raise a little further. We're not going to raise the water in here, but we are going to climb this tower a little more now that we have the long shot. So there's a sculpture here. In fact, can we just get them from here? Baby, baby, baby. I do love that long shot. Excuse me. There we go. Alrighty, so let's get out of here. And I think that's going to be it for this episode. We're going to finish off the water temple in the next one. And see, it's like it's not a big deal. It's really not that big a deal. But we'll explore down under here in the next episode. So thank you everybody for watching. I don't know. Any of you have opinions about Star Fox Zero? Anyone that actually liked it? Because I'm curious to hear more positive things about it. Some honest feedback from people that have actually played the game. But if not, oh well, whatever. See you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.